Alright, what's up guys? Big question I always get about coffee and caffeine and everything. I actually recently just did a blog. It's up on my section on ironmanmagazine.com, but I figured I'd do a quick video on it too. Apologies if I look crazy. I just got back from a run. I had to take our little husky pup, Cash. He goes on a 30-minute run pretty much every day. So he's getting my cardiovascular endurance up. So it's a good thing about dogs. Anybody had dogs, research proves more people who have dogs are in shape than people who don't have dogs. So get yourself a dog if you're out of shape. Anyway, so caffeine and coffee, right? I get a lot of questions about it. First one is usually, does it increase cortisol, right? I get that from a lot of competitors, especially because as you guys know, cortisol, I don't want to say it's a negative hormone because we need it to survive. We need it for daily function. Cortisol increases adrenaline, gets us ready for our fight or flight responses, increases our energy. It actually peaks in the morning, which is actually that thing that really wakes us up is cortisol. You get up and then all of a sudden you're ready, you're alert. That's actually a high spike in cortisol. That's the reason you feel that way. So we need it, it's essential. But it also is definitely known for, increasing weight gain, increasing fat gain. Guys, watch out, increasing fat gain. And tearing down muscle fibers, tearing down protein from your muscles. It's gotten a negative effect, a negative myth out there, stay away from cortisol, which obviously we can't. But does caffeine increase cortisol or coffee or whatever? And it definitely does, but not to the extent like that where you need to worry about it. Like you need to stop drinking coffee just because it's increasing cortisol levels. Dogs, I'm gonna kill them. I really am. So really the spike in cortisol you really feel, you definitely get it, but what research is showing is you actually develop a tolerance to it. So if you're one of those people who drinks coffee every now and then, every single time you probably will get a drastic, a spike in cortisol if you drink it, 8-ounce, 16-ounce coffee, whatever. But if you're an everyday coffee drinker, like I am and many people out there, actually 75% of our population drinks coffee and 55% are everyday coffee drinkers. The other 25 are occasional, 3 times per week. So yeah, it's a huge amount of our population drinks coffee. That's why caffeine is the #1 used ergogenic aid in the US or even in the world, I believe. So you actually get a tolerance to it. So if you're an everyday coffee drinker, you don't get this drastic spike in cortisol every time you have a coffee. So it's not you get the spike. It's always going to be there, but it's not to the effect of, oh my God, I better cut down on my coffee intake because that's what's really blunting my weight loss goals, and that's the reason I'm not losing fat. That's complete nonsense. So the second thing is a big thing from competitors as well, and I usually get this all throughout prep. While I'm prepping clients or people are in their competition, they ask me questions. Is it a diuretic? Is caffeine a diuretic? And truth be told, it's not. It's not a diuretic like people think. They actually, the military is really big in testing and researching caffeine because of using it to supplement their soldiers to increase alertness and focus and stuff like that. And they actually did a recent study where they had their control group of soldiers maybe it was the military that was testing it on subjects, maybe not their soldiers. I can't really quote me on that. But whatever, they had 3 test groups, one who had a low dose of caffeine, high dose of caffeine, and one group that had no caffeine throughout the whole day. And at the end of the 24 hours, there was pretty much no difference in urine volume, the amount of urine that the test groups put out, despite having high doses of caffeine, which is 300 to 600 milligrams or something like that. And to the control group, there was no difference. So a lot of people will be if I have coffee, do I have to count that into my total fluid intake for the day? And absolutely you do. You don't just magically have 3 8-ounce cups of coffee, 24 ounces of fluid, and then just be this doesn't count because caffeine's diuretic. I'm just pissing all this out. That's not how it works. So I never cut coffee out of anything. I have it every day, really, as do 55% of our population, like I just said. So it's not a diuretic. So I would, that myth can go too. What the research shows is what the research shows, really. So Another big thing I get is, can I have it every day? You know, you hear a lot of people say, you know, you should probably take a break from having coffee every day, like it's, you know, like it's this crazy thing. Coffee is actually really healthy for you. Like the coffee bean itself and the ground up, it's actually very healthy for you. It contains a lot of, you know, B vitamins. It has a lot of minerals like folate and potassium, magnesium. And some of you may say, oh yeah, but it probably doesn't have like a lot of that in each cup of coffee. It might not. It has like, you know, 5% or 10% of your daily intake of vitamins and minerals per like, you know, 6 ounces. But if you're an everyday coffee drinker like I am, and you actually have like 24 ounces a day, like 3 cups of coffee in the morning, or, you know, you have a cup before you go to like work out, like that's my pre-workout, I have a cup of coffee. The 24 ounces, it adds up. Like you're having like 50% of your vitamins and minerals just from coffee, like right there. So it does add up, and it's very healthy. And the big thing is not just the vitamins and minerals, it's the antioxidant properties of the coffee bean. There's a huge amount of antioxidants in coffee, which is, it's highly protective for your health, and, you know, fights against the phytochemicals and everything like that. So it's actually very healthy for you. So for the people who like are scared about drinking coffee every day, like don't be scared about drinking coffee every day. There's a few people like who might want to stay away from coffee. Number one is definitely pregnant women. You guys definitely stay away from caffeine. It's proven you don't want to have any stimulants while you're carrying. People who have trouble sleeping, like insomnia and stuff like that, if you're a coffee drinker, you might want to cut that out. It could be the stimulants that are having an increased effect on your insomnia episodes and stuff like that. People who are just like naturally high strung and you're very like sensitive to stimulants, I would stay away from caffeine and coffee. Do decaf and stuff like that, but even decaf obviously has a little bit of caffeine in it. But those are just some populations, I guess you could say, that I'd probably say like stay away from coffee or stay away from like the high caffeine stuff. But all in all, it's very healthy for you. Coffee's great. I love coffee. I told you I have it. I usually have like 8 to 12, 16 ounces in the morning, like with my breakfast, and then when I'm done with my breakfast and I start doing work on my laptop and online and stuff, I have another cup while I'm doing that, and then I have a cup before my workout. That's what I have. Oh, and another question I get is about tolerance level. Like do I need more as I do it every day? And it's a tricky question, but because it is addictive. Caffeine is addictive. You know, I'm sure many of you, I've done it before, where you're like, just like I said, like maybe I'll just stop drinking coffee for like a little bit, right? And you go off for like a day, and that next day is like cloudiness, like foggy thinking, you have a headache. The second day is worse if you try and like, you know, man up and try and like go through another second day. You have withdrawals from it, just like how you do, you know, in drugs and stuff. Caffeine is very addictive. But what they're finding is you actually develop the tolerance to like the high blood pressure raising effects of caffeine if you're genetically disposed to that. The increase in heart rate that you get from caffeine, you develop a tolerance to that. Your heart rate doesn't jack up as much. And then you also develop a tolerance to like the negative effects, whether it's like jitteriness and stuff like that. The tolerance is attributed to those things. They're not really finding that you have a tolerance to caffeine. So if you have 200 milligrams every day, you won't have to magically have 600 milligrams to start feeling good again. Like I have the same amount every day and I still feel like I always wake up good and I'm alert and I have great workouts and stuff like that. Can't contribute it all to caffeine, but I mean, it's a big reason. If I didn't have my coffee, I feel like shit, you know, I feel weird. So the research is finding that you don't really develop a tolerance to the caffeine, maybe slightly. So if you have like 200 milligrams every day, maybe you'll need 225 to really feel a big boost again or something like that. You know, but it's not like, oh, I have 2 cups of coffee a day. Now to really feel good, I need 3. And then eventually I'll need 4. Like, it doesn't really work like that. They're finding that the tolerance that you develop a tolerance to is like I said, the high blood pressure and the increase in heart rate and the negative effects and stuff like that. It's not really to the caffeine itself and the effect it's going to have on your body. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. I want to do a quick video for you. I get a question about caffeine and coffee all the time. Just got back from my run with the pups. I need to take them for a walk. Like I take the husky, Cash, I take him for a run like every 30 minutes. He's grown like a freaking weed. He's a little over 3 months old now. And then I take all 3 of them for a walk later because Flex, that little dachshund, he's got those little legs, you know, not supposed to be running. And then Jax is just like, she's a maniac. She has energy and she won't gain any weight. She's like one of those people like who eats like, if she was like a human, she'd be like one of those people who eats whatever she wants and she doesn't gain any weight. Like she's just like incredibly like fit and like she's like an athlete dog. It's crazy. She can jump like 15 feet. It's crazy. But all right. Anyway, as always, guys, comment, like the video if it helped you a little bit, and subscribe, share it, and we'll be back to you with another topic as always. God bless you guys. Take care.